everyone, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs. I'm getting ready to skive two patterns that I have already cut out, both in leather, and both of the leathers need to be skived. So the first one is the Rainier by K-Del Handmade. Lori and I, Ethel and I, Lucy, are going live on Thursday to make, on Friday I should say. This may be released before or after, I'm not actually sure. But I'm going to skive the leather. And so I'm using this navy leather. And let me tell you what the thickness is. Let's just talk about that for a second. It is almost 4.5 ounces. So it does absolutely need to be skived. So that's the navy that I'm using. The other one is this gorgeous kind of a mottled blue gray. Let's see how thick this one is. This one is for about 3.8 ounces. Still needs to be skived. So we're going to do that one. And I'm not going to go over the pieces. I'll just talk about skiving and what I know. And I'm still a brand new baby at skiving, just FYI. The second one is the Everyday Crossbody. Let me turn this over. And I am using this gorgeous kind of cream and taupe paisley. Let me see what you can see. Yeah, very, very pretty. And it does need to be skived. I have interfaced it, but let me see on the sides. Yeah, it's about 3.2 ounces, and it does need to be skived. So I'm using that. The gray is going to be the lining. And then what I'm using for the zipper gusset and the gusset and some of the front and some of the accent pieces is this taupey leather. This is 3 ounces as well. And it does need to be skived. So most leather needs to be skived if it's over, I don't know. It depends on your machine. But I would say anything over 2 ounces probably does need to be skived. Most lamb leather is less than 2 ounces, does not need to be skived. In fact, if you tried to skive lamb, it would probably rip it because it's pretty thin and a little bit stretchy. So, cowhide, it needs to be skived. It's usually fairly thick. I personally try to get leathers, now that I have a skiver, over 3 ounces. So, I do have a camera over on the skiver, so we're going to just go over there and we're going to get started. So again, let me preface this. I am not an expert on skiving. I'm still learning. The one thing I will tell you is keep any and make scraps of the leathers that you're going to use. The last thing you want to do is start with skiving a good piece, because you could end up, you know, making it too thin, whatever. So I do have some pieces here that I'm going to use. And you don't want tiny pieces, but these would work. Okay. So I've learned from a variety of sources. Excuse me, my friend Anne at Simple Artful Stuff is the one who started me. So she and Gabby, it's all their fault. That's what I'm just going to say. And then I've learned a little bit from Lynn at Lynn's Handmade. She does leather. I've learned from Garth at Myth Leathers. So there's a lot of people. I can't name them all, and I don't want to miss anybody. But there's numerous people that have either reached out to me or I've reached out to them with questions. So it's great. It's a rabbit hole, so just be careful. If you decide to get into leather, take it slow. I started leather over a year ago. I didn't get a skiver for probably about a year. Hand skiving was really not an option for me. I had no desire to do that. I don't have the hand strength to do that. But if you're young and you have good hand and arm strength, hand skiving is definitely an option. There are great tools, much less expensive than buying a skiver, just FYI. And a skiver is not a perfect machine either. It can be temperamental. So you have to know, your tools, and keep it sharpened, keep it oiled, keep it clean, and you should be good. All right, let's go over to the skiver. Here we go. So I'm just going to walk over here. Put my phone right there so I can see. And bring my stuff over. So the first thing I'm going to do is do a little practice with these pieces. I probably won't use them all, but I am going to practice with them just a little. One thing is this is not meant to be a how-to skive, by the way. And I'm not going to talk about the machine per se, but I am going to talk a little bit about what I do and why I do it. So make sure that your lever is left up, because there's a spring in here you don't want to wear out. Okay, always start your machine, and that is beautiful. Don't get your fingers in here. That is beautiful. Okay, so the navy skives really good. Let's see how this one does. Perfect. All right, let me grab my little tool and we'll see what it skives it down to, because that's important. Let's see what we did. So this one was 3 before we started, and now it is 2. So am I okay with that? I'd actually like to go a little bit thinner. So I'm just gonna barely turn my knob down, and we're gonna try again. Yeah, I think that's actually better. Let's see. No, that's still 2. Okay. Yeah, that's about 1.8. So I think I'm okay with that. Let's try a little bigger piece here on the navy and see what that skives. Yep, that's 2. So this started at 4.2 and we skived it to 2, which is perfect. The whole thing is you want to make sure that when you fold it over on your seams, it's not too bulky. This, I think I need to skive it a little more. Let's just see. Yeah, it's just less than 2. So I think that'll be okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. Perfect. Okay. So anywhere from my experience to 1 point, maybe 1.6 to 2 is probably a good skive. So that's all I'm going to do on the old skivey. The one thing you do want to do is if there, I'm going to get my head in here for a second. Make sure there's no remnants in there. Perfect. All right, let's do it. Okay. So these two are my top two bands, and so I am just going to skive them. I have it set on just shy of 4. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. I can pull you in just a little bit. Let me see how I can do that. Hold on. Yeah, that's better. So I'm going to skive both the short ends and the long ends. Oops. Perfect. 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 Now I'm just going to leave that unskived in the middle there, but that was perfect. Short ends, and Garth is the one that taught me to skive the short ends first. Keep your hands away from the blade. Somebody else just recently said that I made them nervous because I was pulling my hands across there, and they were exactly correct. Keep your hands on either side of the blade. See how easy that is? The skivey is working beautifully. Okay, let's put those back together. And now I have my 2 D-ring hidden connectors. You don't want really thick hidden connectors, that's for sure. Now for these, I don't want to leave that bulk in there, so I'm going to move my seam guide out of the way, and I'm going to do that center spot. So I skive the whole piece. Perfect. Those are perfect D-ring. Okay, so those are done. Now we have 2 zipper gussets. Same thing here. Let's do the short end. And if you're a leather maker and you're out there and you have any suggestions for me, don't hesitate. I'm open. I'll just soak up your knowledge. Okay, I'm okay with that little bit of thickness in there. That'll be fine. Zipper gusset. contemplating getting a Skiver, there are many places you can get them. Many brands, etc. And basically, they all function the same, from what I can determine. I'm not an expert on that. This is pattern piece B. And this one, we're just going to skive this edge and around the corners. Okay. And I do try and go around the corners. I just have to go slow. The straight edges, you can go a little faster. Oh my gosh, that did so well. There's a little bit here I want to get better, so let me do that. There we go. So there it is. That's all I needed. Just that small edge on that piece. Beautiful thing. And then pattern piece A, same thing. Let's do this straight edge. Perfect. I'm going around a curve just to go slow. And I'm not pulling it. It is the stone that's underneath here is pulling it through. Perfect. Skivy is behaving beautifully. Okay. And then this is the this is the zipper overlay. Oops. I just dropped that. I'll get it. This is the overlay. I'm going to skive the whole thing because I don't want it to be really thick. I'm going to push this back just a little. I kind of have to remind myself to keep my hands on either side of that blade. And then I'm going to skive right there. Right down the middle. Perfect. 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 All right, that piece fell on the floor. I'll get it here in a second. Oops. And then this is the little piece M zipper tab. It's hitting that. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. And now we have the pattern piece E, which is the flap. Perfect. Perfect. Nice. I like it. Okay. And then that, I believe, is actually all my pieces for the Rainier. Beautiful. let me, I'm going to go get a scrap for the other one. Hold on. Okay, so I got a couple scraps. Don't need much. Perfect. That's perfect. All right, let's try this taupe. That's perfect too. That's good enough. Okay, let's do our zipper gusset pieces. 2 of those. Short ends. Perfect. See how I'm taking my hand away? Let me disguise that just a little more. That's not quite enough. Let's see. This is a little softer leather, so. That's good. Perfect. Perfect. So this is a zipper gusset. So if there's a little bit of flesh left in the center, I'm okay with that. But I don't want it on the ends. Zipper gusset. 2 of those. Then I have the piece E, the back slip pocket. Now I already put Decaville, so if I skive some of that off, that's okay too. I'm okay with that. So it did, it skived that off. I love it. Now there's a little piece here that I think I'm just gonna cut that off. This is the back slip pocket. This is the everyday crossbody. And I'm doing the back pocket a little different. Perfect. So sometimes embossed, which this is a little harder to skive, but look how beautiful that is, even with my Decaville. It keeps my Decaville out of the seam. Perfect in every way. Yeah. Okay, this is the coin pocket. There's nothing there. My 2 D-ring connectors. Again, if there's a little bit left in the middle here, I'm okay with that. I just don't want any on the sides. Take your hand away, Barb. So I was saying earlier, there are tons of places to get a Skiver. I would recommend that you do your research. Make sure that you have good customer service. And prices vary, but they're basically the same machine, honestly. So just be aware of that. All right, so these are the main panels. Oh, this is, yeah, this is the Everyday Crossbody. I was thinking this isn't the Everyday Crossbody. It is. It looks like the Louis. Isn't that funny? That's why I was questioning myself. Okay. Perfect. See, I had the Decaville on that one too. Let's see, this is the gusset. Short end. So it's still sharp. I'm not pulling it through. It is pulling it on its own. You don't want to pull it through. Let me see if that's scribed enough. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm getting some leather caught in here, so let me get rid of that. This gray is pretty soft, so let's just get rid of all our little scraps. Always use a tweezer. Don't put your hand in here. That's where the blade is. Don't ever put your hand in there. However you think you can, don't do it. All right, let's try this again. Perfect. Okay, that's the gusset. I think that might be it. This is the slip pocket. The trim, I'm not going to skive. That doesn't really need to be skived. Well, actually, I think I will trim it. Let me trim just the ends, so it doesn't clog up the seam. Perfect. There's that one. It's kind of the accent trim. Sometimes really soft leathers, this machine has trouble with. So it's not really having trouble, but it's a little more of a challenge. what is this? Oh, this is the zipper tab. Yeah, I need to skive this. This is the bottom zipper tab. Perfect. Let's see what else we got. I think that's it. Again, my strap tabs, I am not skiving those. They're not that bad. They're not that thick. And that is all there is to it. So, put your lever up. See if there's any remnants in there. And no. So let me show you how much we skived. I think you'll be able to see this. So here's what catches on my skiving. This is just a really scrap piece, but here they all are. Let's see what you can see. This was clean before I started, mostly. A lot of flesh skived off that leather. And if I didn't have this little bucket, that all would be on the floor. And this is just, I made this out of scrap OtterTex. It was the easiest thing I think I've ever done. And that is it, guys, for skiving those 2 bags. Now, I always keep a thing of air. See all that? So I will vacuum because there is quite a bit of stuff that comes out when you do this. That's it. So that is skiving 2 bags. It doesn't take long. The key is that you test your leather before you skive any pieces. You want to make sure that you're getting it skived to the ounce that you want, 2 ounces or less. And that you're getting the skive wide enough so that your seam is skived. You don't want to do it too thin. You don't want to leave it too thick. So it's quite a learning curve, really. I practiced a ton on scraps. So don't ever throw your leather scraps away because you can practice with those. Again, I'm not an expert, and if you are a leather maker and you've been using a skiver for a very long time, I am happy to hear what you have to say. Send it to me in my contact on my website, jeanniebags.com, and I'll be happy to converse with you because I am still learning. I appreciate it. I truly do. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good night, and be sure to click a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. Bye-bye.